The mystery behind the legend history remembers Genghis Khan as a symbol of unstoppable violence. Textbooks reduce him to numbers. Cities destroyed, armies crushed, millions dead. But here is the mystery that rarely gets asked. How did a scattered group of illiterate nomads build the most efficient war machine the world had ever seen, and why did it work so well for so long? This is not just a story of brutality. It is a story of systems, discipline, psychology, and control. And the deeper you look, the more uncomfortable the parallels with the modern world become. Setting the stage, a world ready to fall, the late 12th century was not a stable world. Eurasia was divided into fragile kingdoms, corrupt empires, and complacent elites. China was split between rival dynasties. Central Asia was dominated by the wealthy but arrogant Khwarazmian Empire. Islamic states were rich but politically divided. Europe was fragmented and inward-looking. Power rested on walls, armies, and tradition, and almost everyone believed nomadic tribes could never threaten civilized states. This assumption would prove fatal. The Mongols had no cities, no written language, no standing bureaucracy. But they had something far more dangerous. A system that rewarded loyalty, punished weakness, and adapted faster than any enemy they faced. At the center of this system was a man born into chaos. Origins, though, from Temujin to Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was born as Temujin around 1162 on the harsh Mongolian steppe. His early life was defined by betrayal. His father was poisoned by a rival tribe. His family was abandoned and left to starve. Temujin was enslaved as a teenager. This environment taught him a brutal lesson early. Tradition does not protect you, power does. Unlike other tribal leaders, Temujin rejected the old aristocratic order. He promoted men based on loyalty and ability, not bloodline. This single decision quietly laid the foundation for everything that followed. Cause and effect were already at work. Tribal injustice gives resentment, gives reform, gives loyalty. By uniting rival clans under a single identity, Temujin created something new, a merit-based warrior society. In 1206, he was declared Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. The war machine was officially born. Rise to power engineering the Mongol war machine. The Mongol army was not large by modern standards, but it was perfectly optimized. Key features of the Mongol system: decentralized command generals were trained to think independently. If one commander died, the system continued without chaos. Psychological warfare: cities that resisted were destroyed completely. Cities that surrendered were spared. Word spread fast. Fear became a weapon. Intelligence networks, scouts, spies, merchants, and defectors fed constant information. Mongols often knew enemy plans before battles even began. Mobility over mass: every soldier had multiple horses. Armies moved faster than news itself. Each conquest strengthened the system. Victories brought engineers-built siege weapons. Siege weapons destroyed cities once thought invincible. This feedback loop allowed the Mongols to adapt faster than any empire before them. And then came the moment that changed history. The breaking point, the Khwarazmian catastrophe in 1218. Genghis Khan sent merchants to the Khwarazmian Empire, one of the richest states in the Islamic world. They were executed. Then ambassadors were humiliated and killed. This was not just an insult, it was a systemic error. The Khwarazmian rulers underestimated the Mongols, believing wealth and walls guaranteed safety. The result was annihilation. Cities like Bukhara, Samarkand, and Urgench were systematically destroyed. But this was not random violence. It was deliberate enforcement of a rule: resist and cease to exist. The Mongol war machine reached its peak here not in size, but in efficiency. Ironically, this success planted the seeds of future weakness. Collapse or transformation, power without the founder. Genghis Khan died in 1227. His empire did not collapse immediately. In fact, it expanded further under his successors. But something had changed. The system depended heavily on constant expansion. Central authority shared fear of a single leader over time. The empire fractured into separate Khanates: the Golden Horde, the Ilkhanate, the Chagatai Khanate, the Yuan dynasty. Each inherited the war machine, but not the unity. As territories stabilized, the Mongols transitioned from destroyers to rulers. Bureaucracy replaced mobility. Politics replaced loyalty. The war machine slowly lost its edge. How history was rewritten or forgotten history often simplifies the Mongols into monsters. This serves a purpose. By focusing only on destruction, we ignore uncomfortable truths. The Mongols enforced religious tolerance. They protected trade routes. The Silk Road flourished. They standardized laws across cultures. More importantly, we avoid the real lesson. Systems defeat civilizations faster than armies do. Empires fell, not because Mongols were evil, but because existing systems were brittle, corrupt, and slow. That pattern never disappeared. Modern parallels the war machine without horses today. No one rides across continents with bows, but the logic of the Mongol war machine is everywhere. Speed over tradition systems, over individuals, psychological pressure over direct force fear as a compliance tool corporations. Financial systems and digital platforms operate on similar principles. Adapt faster than regulation, centralize power quietly. Punish resistance economically instead of militarily. Just like the Khwarazmians, modern institutions often assume they are too big to fall. History suggests otherwise. 3 takeaways: systems matter more than morality. The Mongols did not win because they were cruel, but because their system worked better. Complacency is fatal. Every empire the Mongols destroyed believed it was untouchable. Power Power always evolves faster than defense walls. Laws and traditions fail when systems stop adapting. A warning for the future, the Mongol war machine did not disappear. It changed form. Whenever a system rewards loyalty over truth, speed over ethics, and fear over consent, the same pattern repeats without horses, without arrows, but with equal consequences. The real question is not whether such systems will rise again. It is whether we will recognize them before they reach their breaking point. If this documentary changed how you see history, subscribe for more deep dive explorations into power empires and hidden systems. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes.